Explore opportunity.
Hi everyone, welcome to the latest Goldinvest DE interview. Today we're talking to Galen McNamara in his role as CEO of Uranium explorer Aero Energy, trading on the TSX Venture, the symbol AERO. We introduced Aero to our viewers some time ago, so if you would like more background information or details, please visit our website Goldinvest or our YouTube channel for more information, or of course the company's website where you can find more. Because today we want to talk to Galen about the proposed merger or acquisition with the US uranium company Kraken Energy. Welcome, Galen.
Hi, thanks Bjorn. Thanks for having me back. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Certainly interesting times, not only in the broader markets, but also for Aero. Let's get into it. Tell us about the deal with Kraken. How did this come about? Had you been on the lookout for an acquisition or target anyways, or was it just like an opportunity too good to miss?
Yeah, you know what? All of the above. We had definitely been looking for things, and I'm always looking for things, with whatever I'm doing. But this one was something that we started talking to Kraken with back in the late part of last year. I want to say October or November. They had some permitting issues that really kind of halted them getting their drill permits. But with the new administration, number one, and number two, with my experience in the United States, I really thought that it was just a matter of time until they got them. And I looked at the valuation of this company. At one time, it was a $50 million company, and they had $10 or $12 million raised. But fast forward 2 or 3 years, things really changed in the markets. They had issues getting their permits. They had some management. Something like this was a win-win, I think, for both groups of our shareholders. And from Aero's perspective, I think it helps us diversify into the United States, obviously. But there's some very strong drill holes on Kraken's project in Nevada called Apex that are probably best in class for the United States.
Okay.
And I looked and I thought, oh, geez, the market cap here is 1.5 million. We're getting it for 1.6 and change. That just seems like a win-win for both of our groups of shareholders. And I think from the perspective of the Kraken shareholders, you now get exposure to good Saskatchewan exploration opportunities that we're going to continue to drill, and we're financed to finish the program that we're doing now and have another one in the summer. But that's the type of place up in Saskatchewan in the Athabasca Basin where if you hit something, it quickly becomes worth hundreds of millions, and if you're lucky, billions of dollars. So you get a little bit of exposure to that while you get a new management team that has deeply experienced in the United States in a Trump administration when domestic sources of these elements that are critical, and uranium was specifically named in the executive order from a couple of weeks ago, when things like that are becoming more and more important.
Yeah, well, certainly the timing in this regard could almost not be better from the political side of things. Just a bit more detail on what you acquire with the Kraken. You mentioned the Apex project that had very good drill holes. I think you hope to resume drilling them this year there. And what is it that has been shown there already?
Yeah, that's right. We hope to resume drilling this year. But this company is especially Kraken is kind of not in the tell me phase. They're in the show me phase. So I'll start talking about that more when we get the permits and we're ready to go. But that's my goal for sure. That's our goal, and I think it's achievable. But what we have here is the main asset in Kraken Energy is called the Apex mine in Nevada. Located in central Nevada, produced something like 100,000 pounds of U3O8 back in the 50s and 60s after it was discovered. And pretty good grades near surface. There's drill holes that, there's too many numbers in my head this morning, but tens of meters of 0.3 to 0.5% U3O8, which for the United States is really, really strong and hasn't really been worked on since the 50s or 60s. It technically was the largest historic producer in Nevada, but 100,000 pounds, that's relatively small. We just see the upside there on a project that's kind of sitting there, hasn't really been looked at in many years in a scenario, in an environment where domestic uranium is becoming more and more important, and we thought it was a very good price. So I put all those things together, and and it was easy to say yes to.
Yeah, it looks like a compelling opportunity there. Mm-hmm. So, but of course, as you said, the price is something like $1.6 million that you're paying. Canadian dollars. Is this all paper?
Yeah, right? Great point. Of course, it's all in our stock. So at the end of the day, the pro forma company will be something like 67% Aero shareholders, and the rest Kraken shareholders.
Okay, so and you said you are financed for the drilling in the Athabasca, but assuming you want to do work in the U.S. Perhaps you can do some stuff before you.
We went financed for drilling in the U.S. We're not financed for drilling in the U.S. But the nice thing about the project in Nevada is that the zones are shallow. They're almost at surface or outcropping. You can do a lot of drilling there for not that much money relative to other places. So, I don't think it's going to take much to get an idea of how many pounds are in the ground there, and then see what the next steps are after that once you have that defined a little bit better.
Okay, well, that certainly sounds like a plan there. We'll hope to hear more as soon as possible, of course. Everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen there. Thank you, Galen, for taking the time just to round things up. So I think if you look at the price you paid for the company and the market cap of Aero at the moment, which is shy of $3 million, I think, about twice that of Kraken, I think the new entity is going to be a compelling opportunity now. Do you expect a re-rate then, or?
But I think once we get those permits, that's really when the opportunity it becomes more apparent. Because, like I said before, the company has been saying, "Hey, we're going to get them." Kraken has been saying, "We're going to get them. We're going to get them. We're going to get them," and it never happened. I don't really want to go down that road.
Okay.
So when we get them, then you'll hear a little bit more from me on that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Bjorn.